What is going on? This is Joe, and today we are continuing Final Fantasy XVI, the Rising Tide DLC. We're going to go finish off this Pursuit of Knowledge side quest and theoretically continue with the story after that, but we'll see.
Excuse me.
Hope everyone's having a good day.
Storekeeper's daughter, have you?
Little Ruka.
Let's go.
I have, as it happens. She went out through the gate not long ago.
Out of the village? Alone?
Aye, she does it all the time. There's a path off to the left which leads down to the river. Nice little spot, that. It's safe as you like. The beasts of the mountain don't dare come so close to the village. That's where she'll be. Go and have a look if you don't believe me.
I will.
There's definitely going to be beasts.
This must be the path.
We're going down here and thinking, this is perfect for a battle. Is it going to be Tonberries? I know at some point it's going to be Tonberries.
They're not here either. It's you! I've been looking everywhere for you.
You must be Ruka.
You know my name? Can you lot read minds?
Your father asked me to keep an eye out for you. You left without telling him where you were going. He was worried.
But I went to look for you.
Well, now you found me. What do you say we head back to the village and let your father know you're safe?
All right. And on the way home, you can tell me all about the world beyond the wall. I want to know everything.
Everything might be a stretch.
Huh. I assumed there would be a battle.
Thank you for bringing her home. And sorry for the trouble.
Oh, no. It was a pleasure.
Daddy, did you know that there are villages 10 times as big as Haven in the outside world? 10 times! Cities, they call them. And in these cities, they have great big walls and towers and castles.
Oh, to think I was worried. You can tell me all about the outside world later, Sweet Pea. Now go and help your mum with the stores.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with her questions. She, has a lot of them. One of the big ones being, what are the people beyond the wall like? Reckon you've made a good first impression.
Are we the only ones she's ever met?
Now you are. The rest of the world can't know we're here, so we'll have to be very careful who we're letting in and out. A few of us might make the occasional trip to shore for supplies, but for the most part, we'll make do with what we've got, including what the old Northerners left us.
Yes. You built on top of the old ruins, didn't you?
Terrible idea.
They're made for fine foundations. Their masons clearly knew what they were doing. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Oh, it's everything else that's the problem. Medicines, metals for tool making, anything like that. We have to dress up as traveling merchants and make a trip to the outside and pray to every cloud in the heavens that nobody sees through us.
Which explains why you need Gil.
Aye. And now Ruka's back, my wife should be free to assist you with any potential purchases. So please, do make good use of our stores, because we fully intend to make good use of your coin.
I'll be sure to keep my purse strings loose.
Let's go buy some stuff. Or not. We'll see.
Thanks for bringing me daughter back. I don't grudge her looking for adventure, but she's got to pull her weight like the rest of us. Anyway, now we've got the inventory done, I can attend to my own tasks, like seeing to our visitors' needs. So, was the route you wanted? This is all we have.
Oh, we have. All right. Menus, waistcloth +3.
Here you
I'll
are.
take it.
May it serve you well.
That's a new song. Love it.
Well, if you're sure you need it. Here you are. Very well.
Sounds very depressed to be selling me things.
What do you think the tributary sees in those outsiders?
How long do you think this bridge is going to...
Chocobo.
Did you hear that, girl? You're going with father today.
If you don't mind, Mother.
Did I miss anything? No. All right, on we go. Open.
There's a pair of ships just up ahead.
Ships? But are we not still leagues from the shore?
She's not going to answer that one for us.
All right.
So this hidden pathway. Don't walk into walls. This feels like somewhere we would fight someone. But later, I guess.
The quickest route to the surge is due east, past the second galley.
Shula, how did these ships come to be here?
What do you imagine happens when an icon of water gets angry?
Really, brother, did you have to ask?
Like, Clive, you're really dumb. Clive. Oh, she's angry. Level up! Triple digits. Sweet. I don't know which way I want to go first. I guess that stuff will open up eventually, so I guess we should go the way we're supposed to go and come back later. Was that Tonberries?
Tonberries. Foul
That's
creatures consumed by their hatred for everyone and everything.
wild.
Everything save sharp knives, it seems.
They're so weird looking in HD. That's definitely something. Far enough. Good boy, Torgal. Come here. Good boy.
I can smell the sea. It's not far now.
Well, that's
How will
cool.
we reach the surge?
We'll follow the coastline north. There's a bridge that'll take us across to the cape.
I can't see the whatever it is. She just kind of goes in there, huh? Too early. What the heck was that? Where did we go? Oh, that's annoying. This was a thing with the big battle in Final Fantasy 15. If you went or got launched out of the combat zone, you had to start all over again. Really? Charge faster, please. Goodness. Woohoo. We didn't really have to do that, especially after we had to restart the battle,
Might I
but
inquire about the ray of light?
It's what prevents the surge from being reclaimed by the sea. And Dwalius by his people.
we're almost there. Do I want to fight another turtle right now? Not particularly. So we're just gonna keep going.
You said before that the child is bound within the surge. But you've yet to tell us how we're meant to reach him. I trust we won't have to hold our breath.
No. The surge wraps around the cape without engulfing it. If we continue to its tip, there is a path down to the seabed. And the wave's origin.
All right. It won't be the first dominant we've met at the bottom of the ocean.
True that. Torgal remembers what happened after that. The surge. That's cool. The water droplets and everything are like stopped in time.
It's not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Dwalius's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the responsibility alone?
You misunderstand. I do it because I want to. To show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes. The forest grows quickly here. Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
Does the light point the way to the child?
It does indeed.
Look at all the droplets of water suspended in midair.
Where they have remained untouched by time for 80 summers.
It's not right.
No, it's not.
With really gigantic waves.
There. Up ahead. Down in the center. Follow me.
Oh,
He's still primed.
I'll never forget my first priming. The fear. And I was old enough to understand what was happening. One can only imagine how this poor child felt.
He is the victim of an unforgivable sin. Committed by people who saw him as nothing but a means to an end. He must be so frightened.
Then I'll ease his burden.
You don't mean?
I'm not going to hurt him. Contrary to the tales, I don't go around killing dominants for no reason. What if I told you there was a way to remove Wallis' icon?
I tell you, you were a madman.
well, we are.
It's hard to believe, I know. But it can be done. Though, it isn't without its risks. Part of the icon remains no matter what.
So, it might still come to violence.
I don't know. It depends on the dominant. I've seen things end well, and I've seen things spiral out of control. But I do know one thing. If we turn our backs on this child, there will be no end to his suffering. And I think that a worse fate than the alternative. Don't you?
Very well. Do what you must. And whatever happens, I will own the consequences.
Don't be afraid, little one. Let me bear the weight. Hush now. It's going to be all right.
Is it done?
That was pretty cool.
I think so. I can feel the icon inside me. But Something's wrong.
What's that?
I was just afraid. He was angry. All right. Let's see what you've given me.
Power water.
Leviathan!
No, just an eggy. But a formidable adversary nonetheless.
Nice try. Oh, look. It has friends.
Okay, there we go. That's gonna take some time to get used to. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Some kind of trophy. I'll take it.
It's over.
There we go.
Is everyone all right?
He seems calmer now.
You said Walius was frozen in time. That he knew we were here. How?
I don't know. He's never reacted to anything or anyone. Until now.
Clef has that effect on people.
Bound for nigh on a century. If he has been conscious from the first, we must remove the seal at once.
It's not that simple. I wish it were, but there's more to this tale. It would be better if I explained back at the village.
I see. Then let's return before it gets dark.
No, so the trophy was land 300 title attacks combined. That was much quicker than I thought it was going to be.
I will
Sweet.
make this right.
Another trophy. Flow. Not the lady from the car insurance commercials.
So, part of Leviathan is inside you now, is it? Does it hurt?
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Good. Because I still have need of your strength. If you want to know the rest, we should head to the Witten Hall.
Of course.
No, we should. I gotta do that. I don't feel like doing that right now, actually. Let's go max everything out. And we still have 27,000 ability points left. Who do we want to get rid of? Should we get rid of Shiva? Let's get rid of Bahamut. Tsunami. Tsunami should be triangle. Stick with that for right now, and we'll come back and figure stuff out later. Let me walk over the rocks, please.
The broom is your
So weird going from Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth.
To understand the spell which binds Wellers,
Everything uses triangle on that one.
who we are,
We're back to X.
and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity.
This tapestry.
Is our story the one that brought us here? After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the imperial histories, for anything less would have made the church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend, revealing how to make your very own Mother Crystal.
I've heard that one before.
That does not turn out well.
Yet it gave them
Bad
no
idea.
hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant. Well, yes.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new Mother Crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the Mother Crystals. So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the dome of light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear time may no longer be a luxury we can afford.
The Vare is not easy to find. We must first head north, and then west, deeper into the forest.
But first, side quests. Because we love side quests. Just 4? Is that 3 or 4? 4.
Oh, I never should have let him go alone. Ty, take me, what am I gonna do? You've got to help me. Shula said you were a force to be reckoned with. Are you?
Why do you ask?
Hey? Oh, sorry. I should explain. My name's Kitav. I'm worried about a friend of mine. He went into the forest and he hasn't come back. Would you help me find him?
I can try. Tell me what I need to know.
Of course. You know about the glamour our ancestors cast to keep this place hidden, right?
Shula told us about it, yes.
Right. So you know the cairns we use to maintain the spell? Well, it's me and my friend's job to maintain them. If it weren't for the likes of us, it would have faded years ago.
So your friend went into the forest to visit one of these cairns?
Aye, that's right. He said he was going down to Father's Fell. There are 2 cairns out that way, one by the banks of the Swift Run, and another near the Winged Wains, the, ships in the forest.
All right. How will I know this friend of yours?
His name's Nassef. He's about my height, but clean-shaven. If you could track him down and see that he's come to no harm, I'd be much obliged. I'll search the village, just in case anyone's seen him, and meet you back here.
Very well. One cairn by the ships, another by the river. Better get moving.
We'll just
Hail,
kick off
stranger.
all the other ones first.
Are you a rider by any chance?
I am. What gave me away?
Oh, I can smell it on you. The scent of the stables. And not just any stables. Something tells me you've never been one to ride half-starved birds with chine gall and wet beak. If I had a guess, I'd say your bird eats only the finest greens and has her feathers groomed twice a day with a curl hairbrush.
Nothing but the best for my ambrosia.
Ambrosia, eh? Pretty name. What's she like?
Well, she's tall and strong. And her feathers are as white as snow.
You're joking. You've got a white chocobo.
I have, yes. I suppose they are rather rare.
This I've got to see. Can you bring her here?
I would if I could, but I doubt Shula's skiff could hold her.
Me dad's got a boat. And he's ferried chocobos before. You could get him to bring her. It'd be perfect timing and all. He's preparing for a trip beyond the wall as we speak. I'm sure he'd help you if you asked.
He would. Well, I don't suppose it would hurt to have Ambrosia around. All right then. Where could I find your father?
He'll be in the storehouse on the other side of the brook. Tell him Manda sent you.
If you crash the ship and lose my chocobo, I'd be very mad. These ones are closer, I think.
Bastard things.
Just try to breathe. That's it.
Is everything all right?
Ah, you're the outsider. I'm Fannet, healer by trade. And this is Talor, one of my patients. He took ill not long after you arrived.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
I hope so too, but
But
this affliction, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. He complains of feeling chilled to the bone, but there's no fever to go with it. And my most powerful antalgic hasn't done a thing to ease the pain in his chest. I'm starting to wonder if his condition might require a different kind of treatment altogether. Shula said that you were here to help us. You couldn't help me, could you?
Sounds like he's got the bronchitis.
if I can.
You can, don't worry. All I need you to do is speak to Talor's son, Pavat, over at the forge, and ask if he knows what his father was up to before he came down sick. Something must have caused this, and I want to find out what. The trouble is, Talor's too weak to speak, and I can't leave his side for long. So while you talk to Pavat, I'll pay his wife word a quick visit, just in case she knows anything.
All right.
You one of the outsiders, then?
I am. Shula invited me. Are you Manda's father?
I am. Got you running errands for her already, has she?
She's asked to see my chocobo, but I need your help and your boat to bring her here.
Or you could just say no. Honestly, that girl and her birds, she'll be growing feathers soon enough.
Well, truth be told, I didn't take the idea seriously at first. But thinking about it, it would make it easier to get around if I had Ambrosia here. Can you help?
Well, if you're sure that's what you want. The tributary says we're to treat you lot as we would each other. So, if you need me to ferry your bird over, then that's what I'll do. Still, they don't take the water easily. I'll need you to bring us a mimic gourd or two to keep her calm on the journey over.
And where would I find one of those?
Oh, don't ask me. It's been years since I last brought a chocobo across the bay, and I'm told the world's changed a fair bit since then. Where do you usually get your stable supplies from?
Well, the man who made Ambrosia's tack lived in Martha's Rest, and if I remember correctly, he traded in chocobo feed too. So I suppose I'll go and ask him.
I'll be sailing over to Northreach soon to pick up some supplies. While I do that, you collect your bird and your gourd, and then meet me by the shore. Just don't take too long, all right?
Goodness, the little girls make me go all the way back to the mainland. Seems a bit excessive. You okay?
Oh, do you need something?
I do, though not from the forge. Fanit asked me to speak with you. She's looking into the cause of your father's illness and wondered if you could shed any light on the matter.
I see. Sorry. She shouldn't have dragged you into this.
It's no trouble, really. Tell me, did your father do anything out of the ordinary before he fell ill?
Not that I know of. But then I hardly see him. He's always out and about, like. Well, at least he was. Suppose he might have been a bit more fidgety than usual, but apart from that...
When you say out and about, where does he usually go?
Just round the village. Wanders over to Blasia's place most days. He's a fisher who lives on the other side of the fount. They're old friends. Maybe he knows something I don't.
Maybe. I'll go and speak with him.
Ooh.
Yes?
You have new stuff. What do you got? It's weak.
I'd like to see another smith do better.
Nope.
Till next
Nothing
time,
good.
then.
Bummer.
No sign of the child.
My lord, may I speak with you? There is a matter with which I would beg your aid.
Of course, what is it?
What you got?
Please, not so loud.
Something serious.
Alright, what you got?
Yes, I think we might have company. I was passing by the low gate when I saw a figure moving among the trees up on the cloak. At first, I thought it must have been you or your brother, so I didn't say anything, but But the more I think about it, the more certain I am that the figure looked familiar.
And you're sure it wasn't one of the other villagers?
Positive. I think it was someone from outside the wall who has found his way inside. Of course, it could just be my imagination playing tricks on me. I only caught a fleeting glimpse, and it might have been you or your brother. But if it is who I think it is, we cannot allow him to leave now that he knows we're here. Would you go and see? He won't try to hurt you, believe me. Given what lurks in the forest, the only one likely to get hurt is him.
Well, who is it?
Very well. Whether the man you saw is who you believe him to be or not, we need to know. It may yet be someone else entirely. Someone who means your people, or my people, harm.
Perhaps. Just promise me that if you do find someone up there...
Don't worry. I won't draw my sword unless I need to.
Thank you.
Ymilla, this man you saw, might he be the customer you told me of?
I fear so.
The customer?
I'll explain later. Come on.
Okay, we'll go find the customer. But first, we gotta talk to the fisher guy.
If we pick too many of the flowers, there won't be.
There's no such thing as too many flowers, kid.
Greetings, stranger. What can I do for you?
Your name is Blazir, is it not? Pavard tells me you're a friend of his father's.
What accent
and
is
that the
that?
two of you may have spent some time together prior to his illness.
His illness? Talor's never been ill a day in his life. I don't know why he'd start now.
Oh, Fanny doesn't know either. It was she who asked me to look into his recent behavior on the off chance it might explain how his condition arose.
Oh, I suppose there was something that struck me as a bit odd. He kept asking about the woods. Did you see anything strange on your way back from the shore? Are you certain? Do you swear? That kind of thing. I didn't, of course. But he wouldn't let it go. It was like he was expecting something to happen. It was just a matter of when. Not that I know what. But he never told me anyway.
Well, that certainly does sound unusual. And it might just be what Fanet is looking for. Thank you.
Ah, don't mention it. Oh, and when you say Talor, wish him the best from me, yeah?
Let's see what the healer makes of this.
Sorry, Torval.
O ceaseless rill, guide thy bounty.
I spoke with Word, but she couldn't tell me anything. Did you have any better luck?
Nothing conclusive. But there was one thing. Blazir, the fisherman, told me that Talor had taken a sudden interest in the forest of late. He kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from the coast, but never let on what exactly he was expecting him to have seen.
The forest between here and the coast. Surely not. But then...
But then...
I can't say for sure. But I think Talor's illness might have some connection to the Tomberries. You may have encountered them during your time here. The small, scaly beastmen.
And you think they may have caused Talor's illness?
I do. At least in a way. And if I'm right, it's no wonder the treatments I've been trying didn't work. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you go down into Father's Fell for me? There's an altar there. And if my fears are true, an offering upon it.
What is going on here?
Please, I'll explain everything when you return, but time flows fast. I beg you, make haste for Father's Fell and take the offering from the altar. Talor's life may depend on it.
Very well.
Don't mess with the Tonberries. But that is a journey for the next episode. We're coming up on an hour here, and I don't really want to make these be more than an hour. So if you like this, drop a like. If you're new, it'd be awesome if you could subscribe. And we will catch you all in the next one. Later.